and welcome to the Conversation with Al McFarlane. I am W.D. Foster Graham. I am the book review editor for Insight News, and I will be your host today for this Book Chat Thursday. The Conversation with Al McFarlane brings you stimulating, insightful, inspiring, and robust conversation from all facets of the African and African American diaspora. Now, currently have 1,460 subscribers and we're shooting for 2,000. So, if you enjoy our content and would like to have more of it, please like and share and subscribe to the Conversation with Al McFarlane. We are coming to you live and direct from the Minneapolis, St. Paul area in Minnesota. Now, today, again, because it's Book Chat Thursday, it is my distinct pleasure to bring to you one of my favorite authors. Um, J. Darnell Johnson is the winner of children's books, Old Jim Crow's Jubilee Day Caper, the winner of the 2021 Planting People Growing Justice Writing for Social Justice Award, and a finalist for the inaugural 2022 Jerry Pickney Children's Book Awards for Jamal and Me, Freedom Summer. Now, with over a decade of writing speculative fiction and children's books and stories, he uses his creative imagination in intertwining his love for African American history and culture with his science fiction / fantasy imagination. J. Darnell also has received praise from award-winning authors Neil O'Donnell and Shannon Givney, Peggy Hendrickson of Heart and Soul Editing, and yours truly as book review editor at Insight News. So it is indeed my good pleasure to bring back to you for the Conversation with Al McFarlane, J. Darnell Johnson. Greetings,
I'm glad to be with you, WD.
Likewise, for sure. Now, for those who are new to the Conversation with Al McFarlane, tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I grew up right here in the Twin Cities, particularly in Minneapolis, South Minneapolis neighborhood, right off of 35W. And I've been around the block. I've been working in social services, working with disenfranchised families, children abused, neglected, juveniles in trouble, folks who have been intellectually challenged, those who have been without housing, those who needed jobs, independent living skills, those who needed education, cultural enrichment. And actually, I did a lot of these different presentations to different groups of folks who needed to be inspired, particularly African Americans who are need to build up their self-esteem and to be proud of their heritage and their history and have a lot of fun with it. So I did a lot of stuff with those folks.
Hey.
And I write children's books and I write adult science fiction and fantasy and everything in between. So I got something for all ages.
That always works because, having a multi-generational gift, that's awesome. One of the things I noticed, because I know I have reviewed different books of yours, that I see your gift as a storyteller. So tell us in your distinction, what is the distinction between a storyteller and a writer?
Well, I see a storyteller as somebody who can just be real creative, real imaginative, someone who can just put, to be a visionary, to see scenes that others may not be able to see, but the storyteller brings it to life. They just seem to be able to present themselves in such a way where, people have told me about my writings that they could really envision what I was trying to communicate in the writing. Where writing sometimes could just be, I couldn't see what you were writing. I could read it. It was written, but I couldn't. The storytelling is what catches people and brings them in, as opposed to, yeah, I read it, but I didn't think it was going anywhere. It was just writing on a page, and it didn't really take me to a world that I wanted to, that I might want it to go, but it was so bland. It was just words on a page. There was no life to it. And so storytelling, being a griot, if you will help that communication happen.
Indeed, it does. And speaking of stories, uh, one of your books recently received an award. So, congratulations, Jay.
Thank you. Thank you, WD.
Oh, tell our viewers about this.
Yeah, so I entered a contest with the National Black Book Festival, and I entered my book, Dark Country, and I'll just show you the cover there. And I put my book in the young adult category, and it was reviewed by some great um, authors and editors, and it reached the final. And then I was notified not too long ago that I was the winner of the Black Authors Matter, and I love that title, Black Authors Matter, because they do. And I got that award, and I got a lot of recognition from it and a lot of exposure to that. And I was so proud that my book was awarded with that.
Oh, indeed. Again, congratulations. Heartiest congratulations.
And there's one other thing
Yeah.
too. I just got notified, WD,
Mhm.
that I had entered another award contest, and it was with the Author Shout. I
Mhm.
never heard of Author Shout,
Mhm.
but they just sent me an email and said that I was the winner of one of 4 categories, and I won the top pick,
Mm.
the top pick
Hey.
category. So I'll get more information later, but that just kind of just happened right before we came on.
Hey, a gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, the more exposure you get, the more people would tend to want to um, read your stuff.
Mm. It makes all the difference. So tell us about Dark Country.
All right, I will do that, WD. But first, I want to ask you a question. Tell me if you heard of this before, and I'm going to read this off this sheet here. Um, and if you know it, just wait. If you already know it when you first hear it, that's okay. Just wait till I finish.
Oh, I can do that because I reviewed Dark Country.
All right. There is a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call, would you know the answer to that?
Dark Country.
No.
Mm.
TV series,
Ah, the Twilight Zone.
The Twilight Zone.
Hmm.
And so that brings me to the Dark Country book I've got, because it kind of reminded me of the Twilight Zone.
Mm.
And because it was, the setting is during the Reconstruction era,
Hmm.
between 1865 and 1877,
Mm.
right after slavery ended, and the Civil War had ended.
Hmm.
And in my afterword, I wrote in my first chapter in Dark Country, I wrote, think about it, being betwixt and between, neither here nor there, straddling the light and the dark, neither free nor enslaved.
Mm.
It's a time to step out of the shadows and into the warmth of the sun's rays. but you seem to never quite reach them. Freedom is so close, yet so far. Sounds like you just entered the twilight zone.
Mm.
But even more fittingly, you just stepped into dark country.
Mm.
Because think about being a newly freed slave, and you had been enslaved, and your ancestors have been enslaved all those years. And all of a sudden, you're free
Mm.
to do whatever you want to do, to be whoever you want to be, and to achieve everything that you ever dreamed of. And white people were upset about it.
Mm.
Okay. And it was as if someone stole something from them because they no longer could own property. And so you're not going to be anybody's property. And they're still sore over losing the Civil War. And then in their resolve, they go, well, you know what? We took care, the white folks said, the white folks who owned slaves, we took care of these Negroes. We housed them. We fed them. We gave them medical care. We gave them food and clothing. How are they? They have no education. They can't even read. What are they going to do? How are they going to threaten us? Well, in the back of their mind, this is what I believe is that they were thinking, I sure hope they don't do to us what we did to them.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah. And this was a very tumultuous time. I used to think that the KKK came during slavery. No, the Ku Klux Klan didn't really come into being until after slavery ended,
Mm.
because they were pushing back on the newly freed slaves' freedoms. And so they just said, well, okay, go fend for yourself and see what happens. And they attacked Black people in terroristic type numbers. And so unfortunately, we were up against that backlash. But at the same time, WD, we had major accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
And such a short time, which was 12 years during Reconstruction. We bought land, we bought farmland, we bought the animals to feed the land.
Mm-hmm.
We were able to get an education. We were building places of worship. We were making so many great strides. We were running for office. We were standing up and making speeches. You know, we were jumped right in,
Mm-hmm.
right into, what we were trying to do. And I'm just trying to give you a backdrop to the book, is that this was a period of great gain and great terrorism that happened towards us.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, it was the time when the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment to the Constitution came, where the 13th Amendment abolished slavery and the 14th Amendment gave us birthright citizenship, which was great because we were, our offspring could have citizenship as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 15th Amendment allowed us to vote. And it's like, oh my goodness, this is a godsend. These are all of the dreams are coming true with all of that. But at the same time, like I say, it was a hell of a time for Black people during that time, despite all of our gains. And so I called the book Dark Country for 3 reasons. First, it was to serve as a metaphor for America's dark and sinful past.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, dark country refers to a Black country or dark country that is central to the United States early development. And so in the South, where the large majority of Black people were, it was full of Black people in the South right after slavery. As a matter of fact, there were like 4 states that were majority Black,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so it was like, okay, dark country. And then thirdly, it refers to the U.S. government's Secret Service operation called Operation Dark Country, which Frederick Douglass was the leader and the visionary for that program. And so it was designed to enforce the rights of Negroes and to dismantle white supremacy
Hmm.
and to stand up to ensure the rights of according to the constitutions, that Black people wouldn't be second-class citizens. And so Frederick Douglass said to himself, well, you know what? I want to kickstart this Secret Service Operation Dark Country into something bigger.
Hmm.
Then enters Blaise Vaughn and Shaman Stroud.
Hmm.
And when he met those two cats, that's when he said, you know what? I think I got a winner here. I think I got me two super Secret Service agents, not just Secret Service, but super Secret Service agents. And he called them the Liberator Team. And so what made Blaise Vaughn and Shaman Stroud so amazing was that, you know, Blaise Vaughn, he was a ladies' man. He was real handsome, debonair.
Hmm.
He dressed well. He was smart. He had a gift of gab. He was able to listen to people, but also talk to people about what their concerns were. He was real smart. He fought in the Civil War for the Union Army. He was a runaway from the Union Army, but he was there understanding what it was to be able to fight.
Mm.
And then also he was an excellent use of futuristic gadgets that help him, you know, fight crime.
Mm-hmm.
And his partner, Shaman Stroud, came from West Africa, from the Godong people, which was fictional, similar to the Dogon people of West Africa, which was not fictional. So he came into to the picture because he was a runaway slave.
Ah.
Yeah, and he was very demure. He was quiet, had a bald head. He was all about business. He was really focused, but he had powers to levitate himself.
Mm.
He had powers to levitate other people and move other objects in the air. He could hypnotize people. But his best quality, WD, was that he could shapeshift. He came from a family of polymorphs.
Mm-hmm.
So he could become any mammal, any reptile, any bird that he wanted. As a matter of fact, he could change races. You know, he could be a black man, he could be a white man. And so that became really impactful as the Liberator Team was trying to dismantle slavery. Excuse me, not slavery, but to ensure the rights of Negroes during that time. And so when I wrote the book, I didn't write it with chapters, only episodes. And the episodes had, with the exception of the first episode, they had the names of the white villains, like Queen Antebellum, Circular Saw, or the Grand Giant. And so I just kind of wanted to be clear on who the enemy was during that time. And so what happened at the beginning of each episode, Frederick Douglass would meet with the Liberator Team on their train called Destiny, which was built by slaves. And he would give them their assignment. And he would say, we got the assignment, Mr. Douglass. And then they would go on their train and go throughout the South after they get the assignment and go ahead and tackle the white supremacist organizations and support the rights of the newly freed slaves. And once they got to where they need to go, they get off the train and they get on their flying horses. And they would fly to different destinations and just, I mean, these cats were they were knock down, drag out people, but they also had lives and personal lives. A matter of fact, one of the things that Blaise would do, as most slaves would do, is once they were free, they would look for their family. Blaise was notorious for, you know, looking for his family as he was fighting white supremacist organizations
Mm-hmm.
time, but they continue to use their futuristic gadgets to help them achieve their mission. Because it's a fantasy, it's a western, it's a sci-fi, it's a steampunk,
Hmm.
it's a historical fiction. So it's all those. It's a cocktail of different genres. Dark Country is, and so you'll see um, throughout the book, the Freedmen's Bureau, which funded Black people to own land and to start businesses and start schools and whatnot. And then they also had the KKK hearings. You'll hear about that in the book in
Mm-hmm.
1871, and they had the KKK Act of 1871, where they did something extraordinary. They listened to Black people and what was going on with the terrorism that the KKK was laying down, and trying to break people down so much.
Right.
And fortunately, they didn't have the will to sustain it, and that fell apart. And so the Liberator team made everything better for Black people during the Dark Country, in the Dark Country book. And then they also had a thing called convict leasing. And so people say that's slavery by another name, because what they would do is that they would trump up charges. Or sometimes it'd just be some minor charge. They get arrested and they'll be in prison for life, for 10 years, for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would lease these slaves to different businesses, and they would go to some of the most horrendous work conditions that any human would ever have to do. And they were just doing it from sun up to sundown. And then they pay, the white folks. The white folks would pay, to have these folks come out and do their stuff. But if they got wore out or tired out, they just go arrest some more Black folks and then send them on, out to these coal mines or wherever. And it would be just treacherous. And many of them died and suffered during that time. A lot of that hasn't been talked about. But also, in Dark Country, you hear about minstrel shows, voter intimidation, voter suppression, KKK lynchings. You hear about quadroons and octoroons, mixed blood, Southern Belles. Education is a top priority. Politics, voting is a top priority. And then also, I call the first colored senators the Magnificent Seven. I just saw a picture of them anywhere. They talk about who were the first Black people in the U.S. Senate and Congress. And I call them the Magnificent Summer. And so they're in the book as well. And it was funny because during Reconstruction, we had 5 Black senators, U.S. senators. But after 100 years, we only added 4 more. So it started off good, and then it ended up not so good, because then came Jim Crow and legal segregation. And so that was really suppressing us and suppressing our votes and suppressing our rights. And we couldn't do it. So it's a book where there's action, adventure, there's fun stuff, there's interactions with the different characters that are just like, it's a very meaningful book that I had in my mind, that I wanted to be meaningful, but also interesting and adventure, and a lot of fantasy and sci-fi in it.
Well, I could say you accomplished all the above with this book. But speaking of books, now I think there is another book that you'd like to share with us.
Yes, I would. Yes, and now I'm changing the genre. I got a children's book. It's called Shea Butter and the meet the 7 principles. And so I'm going to read this book to you because it's kind of short, and let you, hopefully you'll understand what's going on in here.
Mm-hmm.
Shea Butter was her name, but she was far from soothing. She was a mean and nasty young soul. She couldn't seem to get along with anyone. Everyone she was around, she butted heads. Sometimes it was with her words, oftentimes it was with her fist. She frightened boys. She teased girls. She pushed and insulted anyone who would get in her way. Shea Butter was not afraid of anyone. Behind Shea's back, the kids nicknamed her Mud Hole because they said her hearts were full of mud and her soul was full of holes. Or was it her shoes were just too tight? Just last weekend, 2 kids said they saw Shea Butter wrestling with a girl in the park. She pounded the earth just to see it quake, and she even taught the teacher how to teach. Whenever the teacher left the classroom, she made the other students recite the Shea Pledge. Ooh, Shea, you make me shake, break, and tremble like an earthquake. To hear is to obey, and that's all I've got to say. Shea's parents were getting more and more concerned with her behavior. We're going to have to send you to an alternative school, her mother said. I'm not going to another school. I hate you, Shea shouted. Then one day, Shea decided to run away from home. Shea sat down next to the tree trunk with her head down, drawing with a stick on the ground. Who are you and what do you want with me? We are your 7 principles, the squirrel said. My name is 100. Truth is the foundation. It makes you couth. My name is Just City. Treat others with fairness and justice. Justice is the way, or you will pay. My name is Twister. Harmony is how we play. My name is Equi. Balance will make you gallant. It's your talent. My name is Glyph. Order. I adore her. My name is Prochet. It's about having courtesy. My name is Quid Pro Quo. Reciprocity. Help a brother out and I will help you out when you need it. Shea said, I deserve whatever consequence you think is just. Equi reminds Shea, don't get too high or don't get too low. Glyph said, plan to be helpful to others throughout your day. Prochet said, always say please and thank you. Twister said, be in concert with nature. Quid Pro Quo said, be quick to share and help others, and good things will happen when you do. Mommy, Daddy, I miss you so much, but you know I learned a lot in the forest. There were cool animals called the 7 principles. They taught me about truth, justice, harmony, balance, order, propriety, and reciprocity. My, those are some big words. Do you know what they all meant? It's not the size of your words, Mommy. It's the size of your heart. Ha ha ha, Shea said. And your willingness to change, my dear, Daddy said, with a little help from my new friends, Shay said. Shea Butter, meet the 7 principles.
All right, amen. Yeah. Oftentimes you see, sometimes if something needs to be said, we don't always have to be the one to say it.
Thank you.
It can come from another source.
The mouth of wildlife.
Exactly. So, with that being said, Jay, indeed, you have a treat in store for us for this next half hour.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some audio from excerpts from my book, whether it's a song that's in my books, or it's a poem from one of my books, or it's a speech or a conversation, etc., from my books. So I just want to set the first one up for you from my first novella, The Opening. And so I'm just set the scene here. So Ja, who is the leader of the Kaban Society, which is a cult on the planet Keb, is a highly intelligent Black civilization. And he thinks the grass is greener on the other side of the galaxy. And so he is told, he's told by his followers in this cult called Kaban that they discovered the planet that he had been searching for forever. And he finds out through his God at one that it's a paradise. And he named the planet Ubiquity. And so for the first song I'm going to have you play is the cult leader, Ja is his name. He's in the bed singing this to his wife. This song, as he was so excited about discovering paradise in the planet Ubiquity. And I call the song Ubiquity is Near. You can go ahead and play that.
I'm tired of royal privileges, jealous people stabbing me in my back, misanthropes, envious foolishness, non-believers, and the net knows saying ubiquity is near. Ubiquity is near. Ubiquity is near. It's time to move fast and be free at last. I wanna go and hug the stars, paint the air green, listen to flowers bud, touch the taste of millet cakes, and the net knows said ubiquity is near. Ubiquity is near. Ubiquity is near. It's time to move fast and be free at last. I wanna smell the rain, wish for more wishes. Say whatever I wanna say. Hug a star in a place where they will accept you as you are. And the net news sing, ubiquity is near. Ubiquity is near. Ubiquity is near. It's time to move fast and be free at last.
All right. So just full disclosure, that was my lyrics for my books, but artificial intelligence did the vocals and the music. So moving to the next song, actually it's a speech. So this is part of the opening as well. So Ja was singing to his wife that song, and then now he's got to present this information to his followers. And he has to persuade them to go with him and his family to ubiquity, where there's a paradise, so it seems. And so this is a speech that he's giving to his followers. It's about 7.5 minutes.
Okay.
To my loyal followers of Kaban, I am so very happy and privileged to be with all of you today. But most of all, I am very eager to talk to you. I want to inform you about a divine vision of mine that is now about to come true. You know, the people outside of Kaban are non-believers in the power of Almighty God at one, and have not been blessed to hear what I am about to explain to you. I am aware that you have heard some rumor about a new phase of our crossing together. And I would respectfully say that the rumor is not a rumor. It is true. I want you to march with me for a while. I'm going to ask you to suspend your assumptions until I have finished my chat with you. I realize the natural hesitancies you must all have. I would like for you to open your mind and think the unthinkable. As you know, we call Ka and Bartolo our soul and spirit stars, respectively, because the soul and spirit is the very essence of our being. Here at Kaban, we call them the cosmogonic egg. At one fashioned this egg to make the first humans of the cosmoverse. You see, Katolo is the brightest star in the sky. By contrast, Bartolo is very faint, tiny, and heavy, and very, very dense, with a metal not found here on Keb called Sagala. Not all of the humans combined on Keb could lift one spoonful that shows God's majesty, as we can get unity within diversity. My friends, Ba and Kartolo are stars of immense origins. The stars have been orbiting each other since the beginning of time, not in circular orbits, but elliptical orbits. Ja proceeded to draw a diagram on the edge of the binary star system. You see, elliptical orbits make an egg shape, an oval, just like the drawing on our uniforms. We
have known this for revolutions. However, what I learned through at yon of the opening is that there is a planet orbiting the dual stars, the most perfect creation of Almighty God. As one is always consistent, as he always makes 2 out of 1 and 1 out of 2. It is our door to his unadulterated and pristine planet, which I have named Ubiquity, not to insult your intelligence, but it is the perfect name because it denotes the omnipresence of God. I want to give thanks for all of your hard work and sacrifice. And a very special thanks to our sterling squatters who actually made the astonishing discovery. Your work in the fields and in other provinces and villages across Nuba Mountain has yielded all of us much. We have detected an atypical wobble in the normal ribbit pattern of the star's orbit. It is my expert opinion from divine inspiration that this planet orbiting the star system is the mother of all mothers. The cosmoverse is a vast placenta, and ubiquity is where creations of all living things evolve throughout the cosmoverse through the process we call cosmospermation, the spreading of seeds, or as the people of Dorgaland call, the Big Burst. My beloved people of Kaban, and one is calling us to come. He has told me so at the opening, though the planet cannot be seen because of the dominating light of its 2 suns. Well, at least Cartolo's light, we know of its existence by the peculiar behavior of the soul and spirit stars, because the star system has existed since the beginning of time. The intelligent inhabitants predate anything living throughout the cosmoverse and is perfect for humans on our great planet to live. If we so chose, it will prove to be the model for all of us here on Keb. Indeed, it is the cosmogonic egg. We know that simple harmony and balance always pre-exist chaos and division, as we have here on our planet. It is where all the netless dwell and is awaiting our arrival. My faith tells me that ubiquity has wisdom that we could not yet comprehend. But with that one's help, we will succeed. Ubiquity will be a living example of a culture that is directly descended from God Himself. Needless to say, what we can learn from them will be immeasurable, and they will have the moral authority to teach us. It would be an interstellar dream come true, and it would be my pleasure to take a ride. How about you? Our #1 objective at Kaban is the search for the truth. In the truth comes knowledge. In order to acquire knowledge, you must know yourself. Now I ask, how can you know yourself if you do not know others? Even if they are outside of your world, what I am proposing to do is bring into reality what we already know is true. It is deep within our cosmovertical thorns and values of our divine inspired Kaban theology. It is also within our Netna one to make real what we know is real. What we give to the cosmoverse is what we will get in return. Just like how we treat others, we will be treated. The more we learn about the cosmoverse, the more we learn about ourselves. I know that you will ask why we must go there. Why? Because life will be everlasting. Why? Because paradise is waiting. Why? Because utopia is awaiting.
tightening. Why? Because the netness are singing.
Mm,
Mm,
mm.
that's the speech for Ja.
Wow.
In his impassioned speech, because he's very obsessed with going to ubiquity. And then when he says the net news sing, that means the god and goddesses.
Mm.
And so for my next book, Jamal and Me, Freedom Summer.
Ah, yes.
And so Jamal is a 9-year-old kid who's a jelly bean counting whiz kid. And his grandmother said, boy, I wish you were around when your great grandmother was in Mississippi and she was trying to register to vote, but she just couldn't count those number of jelly beans in the jar.
Mm.
And she said, Jamal said, well, I wish I was back there too. Well, the dream came true by a beautiful butterfly lady called Queen Azina. She sent Jamal and his brother and their dog back in time to 1964 Mississippi. I call it going down to the Delta. And this is what Queen Azina was singing as she was magically sending them back in time to 1964 Mississippi.
All right.
You're going down to the Delta, Mississippi, I'm told. If you run into trouble, you have to remember, you've got to be bold. You've got to be bold. You've got to be bold. And you're going down to Indianola to help your great-grandma to vote by counting the jelly beans in a jar you'll know. Down in Sunflower County, many bells you will toll. Be patient and be brave, so my dear can vote. You're down to the Delta. You're down to the Delta, Mississippi, I'm told. If you're running in trouble, oh, you have to Adelco. You have to Adelco. You've got to be bold. 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 Yeah.
All right. So my next book is the Supreme Hogan. And actually this comes in a full text, and the other book is in a comic book. So it's a text and it's a comic book as well. So 2 separate books. But what's happening in this book is that astrophysicist Tony Smart is being interviewed by Oprah Winfrey about his experience with the Supreme Hogan. Tony Smart's nephew tells him about the Supreme Hogan and all the things that he can do. And he sits back and says, he's a fake, he's a fraud. But he goes over to West Africa to find out him and expose him as a fake and a fraud, but finds out that he's not. And he says, wow, this guy can actually do all these things that he claims he can do. He can see in the universe. He can see through the universe without the aid of a telescope. And so Tony Smart says, well, my God, I know what I can do. I'm going to bring you over to NASA in the United States. And this was back in 1995. And I'm going to have you have a competition with the Hubble Space Telescope to see who can see the furthest in the sky. And so what I'm about to play is a poem I wrote about that before the story starts. And it's called They Have No Business Knowing Any of This. And I got the name of that title because of a white MIT professor in the 1930s heard about the Dogon people in West Africa. And he said, oh my God, I can't believe it. They have no business knowing any of this. And so go ahead and play the poem.
Okay, let's bring it on.
They have no business knowing any of this. The earth is round and rotating. The planets are round, whirling and orbiting. The solar system is round and spinning on its axis. The Milky Way galaxy is flat, elliptical and spiraling in the blackness. Clusters of galaxies are circling each other on its axis. The universe is round, ain't no doubt about that. They have no business knowing any of this. Sirius B, the star of deep beginnings, getting jiggy with his little brother Sirius. The Dogon knew this with dark adapted eyes, otherwise invisible to the unaided eye. They have no business knowing any of this. Give them the clear word, Mr. Dogon. Big bang, you say it. Big burst, the Dogon say to expand the universe first. They have no business knowing any of this.
Who knew what the Dogon knew? Eons ago, it's true. Who knew what the Dogon knew? Eons ago times 2.
Ancient astronaut theorists claim they were educated by creatures from outer space. Don't believe the hype,
It's blasphemous. Or
authors, astronomers, and astrophysicists claim Europeans schooled them.
it's all hype.
They don't hear us. Saturn has rings around it. Jupiter has 4 moons or more. The moon is dry and dead. The Dogon knew this with the unaided eye. You know the score. They have no business knowing any of this. X and Y chromosomes are really nothing but a mosaic, a spiraling helix of DNA, seen with the unaided eye. They have no business knowing any of this. They have esoteric knowledge of the quantum world. Spiraling coils ain't nothing but particles and waves. Ancient astronaut theorists claim they were educated by creatures from outer space. Don't believe the hype,
It's blasphemous.
or authors, astronomers, and astrophysicists claim Europeans schooled them. It's all hype. They don't hear us.
Who knew what the Dogon knew? Eons ago, it's true. Who knew what the Dogon knew? Eons ago times 2. Who knew what the Dogon knew? Eons ago, it's true. Who knew what the Dogon knew? Eons ago times 2.
All right, I got 2 more quick ones here. Roots for Zero. Zero was a runaway slave. She's a 14-year-old girl, and when she goes into the forest and she runs away, she runs into another runaway slave whose name is Question. And Question said, I'm running away because I don't have an identity. And so this is what Question said. Go ahead and play it.
Tell me, what would you do if you had an identity? What would I do? Ask me. Are you asking me what would I do? Why? I would sing the truth to power. I would know who my real family is. Know my village, know my country, know all of my family. Know my place in the world, my identity is everything. I would be self-confident, self-assured with self-esteem. I would be the owner and the maker. I would be both the organizer and the leader. I would be the boss of me. I would be hungry for power, but not lustful of power. I would no longer be alone. I would be challenged and dare to challenge others. My brightness would shine, and so bright it would light up the world. I would love myself and hate no one. I would find the universe.
And lastly, in my book of short stories,
Yes.
I have a book called, well, this is called Solely Speculative, but there's a white senator who is holding out on reparations for African Americans. So he's visited by 3 souls. And the first soul he's visited by is the soul of slavery. And so he's outside of his window as he lay there in bed, haunting him, called Mr. Clem.
All right.
Go ahead and play.
I despise you, Senator Clem. You speak with a forked tongue. You're as delightful as a piranha. Your teeth look like a harmonica, Mr. Clem.
You're counterclockwise, Senator Clem. You remind me of a slivery, slinky snake. You're as snuggly as rock. Your pockets are full of jocks, Mr. Clem. You're a wicked one, Senator Clem. You have an empty soul. You're as charming as a spider. Your time will soon expire, Mr. Clem. Mr. Clem.
Thank you for this presentation.
Glad to be able to do it, WD.
So I know with this multimedia presentation, definitely folks are inspired and want to purchase your book. So let our viewers know where they can purchase your books.
They can get it on my website, jdarnelljohnson.com. jdarnelljohnson.com.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, viewers today, I'd like to thank you for tuning in, and also special thanks to our guest, J. Darnell Johnson, storyteller extraordinaire, and congratulations on the awards that he has received, and continued good success to you, Jay.
Appreciate it, WD. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
Definitely. This is WD Foster Graham. I'm today's host for Book Chat Thursday for the conversation with Al McFarlane, and I'll see you on the next go round.